So reusability is the word that defines functions. I hope you guys have got theoretical idea that what are the functions. Now let's have a look practically what are the functions. We have learned that there are multiple types of functions, and one of those types is built-in functions. So let's get started with built-in functions, and then we'll move on towards the user-defined functions and rest of the functions. So let's go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT what are let's say list down let's say all the built-in functions in Python. BUILT. Okay. Now there are tons of different built-in functions available in Python. Some of them are even rarely used, but some of them are quite famous. So here we go. You are beginning to see a lot of functions. First of all, function name, then then what it actually does, right? Returns means, we'll come to this word, very important word, it is return. Okay, what do we mean by return? So far you can say return means this is the functionality of this function. So it returns us the absolute value of the number. For example, if number is your number is positive or negative, it makes it a positive number, right? We'll practically see how to work with these functions. But first of all, you can see there are tons of functions, and the functions are still being generated. So I'll stop it over here. I'll come back and I'll say, hey, stop. I don't know all of these functions, right? So because, most of these functions are not very frequently used. So I'll say list down, not all the functions, but list down, let's say commonly used built-in functions in Python. Now let's see what are those, and we'll talk about those functions one by one. Okay, so first of all, a few functions that are that we have worked with, by the way, during type conversions, during typecastings, right? Integer, float. If we want to convert one value type to another value type, we can use these kind of functions, right? And then for input output, we have used print function, right? By the way, anything that has these kind of round braces in front of it, it is called function, right? So we have input function that is used to take input from the user. Then we have different mathematical functions. By the way, these functions we have used almost all of these functions, right? Then we have mathematical functions, right? Absolute, we have just discussed about it. So let's see how to use this absolute function. For example, ABS, absolute, then the brackets. So here, if I'll mention 10, it will give me 10, fine. But if I'll give it negative 10, it will still give me 10. So it gives the absolute value of anything. Then we have round off function. So it rounds the value to a specific level. For example, here, if I say round 10.9876, running it, so it rounds it to 11. But if the value is like 10.112, something like that, so it rounds it off to 10. Then we have, multiple other functions. We have min function, max function. By the way, this min function, it gets us the smallest item in an iteratable. Iteratable means any data structure that can be indexed. Okay, any data structure that can be indexed. Now you tell me, can we index integer? Integer cannot be indexed, right? But can we index list? Yes, we can. Can we index tuple? Yes, we can. So anything that is indexable is also iteratable. So let's say if we have a list of, let's say I have a list of few numbers, 1, 2, 3, 10, 1 again, 9, something like that. I want to get the minimum number out of it. So what will I do? One thing is I can write a for loop and I can find the minimum number. Another thing is I can simply write min, I'll pass list to it, and it will get me the minimum number. Same goes out, I can get the maximum number as well. I'll say list, you'll get me the maximum number, right? Moving on, we have sum function that helps us calculating the sum of all the values in the list. For example, sum I'll pass list to it, and here we go. So sum of all these numbers is 26, right? Moving on, then we have these functions that are iteratable and sequence functions. For example, this length function. So if I want to find out what is the length of a particular iteratable, for example, this list, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 elements in it, right? I want to check out what is the length. I mean, right now there are not many, so I can count them. But what if we have a list of a few million numbers? How can we do that? We'll say length, Len, and we'll pass list to it, and it will get us 6, right? We can obviously do that by let's say length, length equals to 0. We can obviously do that by writing the customized code as well. For example, for I in LST. Okay, so here I'll say for every iteration I'll say length plus equals to 1, right? So this loop will go through the whole list, and for every element I will increment the length, right? And finally, here, if you allow me to display the length, how can I do that? Yeah, this is how I can do that, running it. So the length is 6. So instead of doing this, since this is a very frequently used thing, lengths, it is very frequent that we have to find lengths of a list, lengths of a string. You can also find length of a string as well, by the way. So let's say hello, this is a string, so its length is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, this is very frequent that we have to find lengths of any particular data structure. So these kind of functions are really important, really useful in such cases. Then we have range functions. We have already worked on it, and rest of the functions you can check them out at your end. Yeah, one more thing: if you are confused about any particular function, you can ask ChatGPT to give you an example of that function. For example, this length function, we have discussed about it, right? So I'll say, okay, for example, if you're confused about it, I'll say, please explain this function with examples. Okay, so it will probably show us a few example coding lines as well. Here we go. So this is the syntax. First of all, we have to write length, and then we can add object into the parenthesis, and it will get us the length of anything. For example, if we want to find the length of a string, this is how we can do that. Length of string, and then we are printing it out. Then this is how we can find length of a list. We can find length of a tuple. Length of a dictionary can also be found, right? And so on and so forth. So this is how we can, these are the built-in functions, and there are tons of built-in functions available in Python. With every new version of Python, there are always new functions available. Okay, now the question is, what if we want to write some functions from our end? For example, I want to write a function to which, if I will send 5 to that particular function. For example, here I'm saying length hello, right? And it is getting me 5. What if I'll say I want to write a function, let's say let's call it my len. Okay, so if I want to pass hello to this, it should print out length of the string plus the string itself as well. So it should print out 5 : hello, right? This is a built-in case. This is the user-defined case. For example, a client wants something like that. How to do that? So in order to do that, we have to work with the user-defined function, where user will be defining the function. So let's see how to do that.